scars. He, of course, broke that right arm really badly, and a scar running from the fingertip all the way up above the elbow. Really nasty looking injury. So Sukup said, let's have a look at your scar. It's about ½ centimetre long. And the two enjoying a joke prior to the race tonight. But both men back in action this weekend. We've seen Simon Foucault in the French relay. Sukup, I believe, will take his place in the team for the sprint tomorrow.
It's amazing. He spent 22 days in hospital after that incredible fall off the mountain bike. The doctor said they weren't sure he'll ever be able to compete again.
Well, his right arm is a third the size of the left, so I think it's going to be a while before he comes back. Raphael Perret broke his arm while he was a top-class athlete, came back within a season and was winning World Cups pretty soon after that. It's crunch time here in Oberhof. The men's relay is about to be decided. Norway lead into the range, and Emil Hegle has pushed the pace over the last lap. He's gone from 12 seconds ahead to 15. He can certainly afford one miss and know that he'll come out in front. So if he hits 5 with 6 shots, he should be able to seal the victory. If he misses 2, the pressure is on, and MALYSHKO will have an opportunity for Russia. A long, long delay from Svensson for the first shot. It's Miriam Gusner time. 3 misses from the first 5. He now has 3 rounds and 3 targets. And MALYSHKO of Russia, 2 rounds, 1 target. Down it goes. The lead is changing at the most critical time of the race, but Svensson should be able to gain 10-12 seconds on MALYSHKO. He needs this shot. He gets it down. The chase is on, and Germany could well be in the running for a win as well. Florian Graf, 5 out of 5. The pressure was on, but he managed to cope with the crowd and the situation. All credit to the German, who now has a margin of, what, 16 and a half seconds to gain. I can't see him catching Svensson, but the big question is, will MALYSHKO get caught on this final lap?
Oh, I think he will. 9.3 seconds. Svensson will be absolutely furious with that performance. He had to use all of his 3 spare rounds, and he's going to try and pull that back for Norway. Surely he can do that, but, well, MALYSHKO, Russia, they want success. He'll be thinking of the Olympics next year, and he needs to secure a position in that relay tee at the Olympics.
Yeah, MALYSHKO's gone very hard. It's a 2.5-kilometre loop, and time again, we see the hair going off too fast at the start of the last loop, and then fading on that little loop back up into the stadium. It's often a very, very disappointing stage of the race for the race leaders. Svensson will just have to take it steady. Be patient. Don't try and close the gap too fast.
Florian Graf, he looked like he was going to try and close this down fast, but, well, now the body language says that he's maybe aware that he can't close that gap. It was, what, just over 15 seconds. 16.4 was the margin back to Germany. 9.3 the margin between Russia and Norway. So only just 7 seconds or so between Norway and Germany. Looks as though Germany have closed that gap a little, or it did look as though they closed the gap, but now starting to fade. So maybe the pacing not quite right from Florian Graf. He's very tense, isn't he? I thought he shot amazingly well. He got 5 out of 5 when the pressure was at its toughest. He only got news that he'd be racing at, what, around lunchtime.
2 seconds closed. This cornering has got to be perfect from Svensson. He needs a tight line and a fast exit. MALYSHKO safe free through. Now, 1 more technical turn to go. The legs are dead, but that was pretty faultless. Nice tight line, slowed it down before the right-hand turn. Svensson, eager to catch. That's not as neat, and drifts wide, almost into the soft snow at the side of the tracks, but he survives. 7.5 seconds at the last count. The big climb to come. 2 climbs to come, in fact, Mike. Still plenty of opportunity for Norway to catch the Russians.
Svensson looking a little tired there. I know the legs are at their most exhausted, but he's really trying to get this gap. MALYSHKO, I think, very wise, put in that attack from the range. Delighted that Scott Dixon has only used 1 spare round on his first time into the range. In the prone position.
Britain down in 21st position, certainly not involved in the sprint for the line. Up towards the top of the penultimate climb. Germany still digging in there. They're looking to defend third position at the moment. News from the other teams that we haven't seen for a while because of the split. Ukraine still in fourth. They're 33 behind the leaders. It's been a good run by the Ukrainians. USA are still in fifth position, and they've got a huge margin of a minute and a quarter over Sweden, who are in sixth position. So the best relay performance by the Americans for a long, long while, and congratulations to them.
Svensson is trying, Patrick. He is trying. He's got into that amazing mindset that he has when he can push so hard, but it's looking less hopeful for him. Or is it? Is he just hunting this one down slowly?
Well, by my calculation, a counting one no less, he's still 6.5 seconds behind. 7 kilometres completed, 7.5 kilometres the distance of each leg, so 500 metres to go for Emil Hegle Svensson to close that 6.9 seconds. He could well do it because he's capable of taking 3 seconds out of anyone in the last 200 metres.
He's hurting. The Christmas break, it can do many things for you, and you don't quite feel your spark, your normal racing mindset almost once you've had quite a long break.
Well, what a race. What a race. Not a surprise winner like we had last night with the Ukrainian women producing the race of a lifetime. Some really good performances by them and some very good shooting. The shooting hasn't been quite as tidy tonight, Mike. All the teams having problems early on. The Russian team glued to the big screen, praying that their man can take the win here. Dmitry MALYSHKO, the number 10 in the world, has so far held off the number 2, and he's done it well. From 9 seconds ahead, he's really not let Svensson get within that 5 seconds so far, but the race is not over quite yet. Svensson needs to find the turbocharge that we've seen so many times before. It's a big margin, and he's running out of snow to do it, and Svensson for once has given up the chase. Russia will claim the victory here in Oberhof, and having led all the way through to the last shoot, they took the lead early on in the second leg. They lost it at the second shoot on the final leg, and Russia have come through to take a sneaky victory. Well done to them. Volkov, GARANICHEV, SHIPULIN, and finally Dmitry MALYSHKO with the relay run of his life to claim the win.
Well, that was it. Look at Svensson. He tried and he tried and he tried a little more, but he really didn't make any impression on the final 2.5 kilometres.
Can you believe it, Mike? A man who's won so many championships for the Norwegians, the Olympic champions, the world champions. The rest of the team know what it's like. They know how good Svensson is, but they also appreciate what the pressure is like when you've got a lead. And bizarrely, when you have a big lead of 15, 16 seconds, it can be even harder.
I think that's when the pressure is at its most, because there's more to lose. And Germany, the fans really are delighted that it's a third place with a new, or the bringing in of a Graf at the last minute, really, to take the last leg.
Had Bernbacher been there?
Oh, I think it would have been different.
Different story. Victory, almost certainly.
No disrespect to Graf, but Bernbacher's shooting, although Graf hit 5 out of 5 rapid fire.
Yeah, and Bernbacher's skiing's been excellent this year as well, so I think he would have been involved in that sprint finish. The Ukraine, worth a mention, missing out on a podium. They deserve the podium here tonight. SEMENOV Serhiy, PRYMA, and then DERYZEMLYA coming through to take the last leg. They get a 4th place, a very creditable 4th place.
This is a big moment, I think, for the Russian team. Well, the third they were in Hofwilson, their first today, and really in the minds of the coaches, it's all about the Olympics next February.
Big disappointment on the face of Svensson. He's not used to losing, but you have to cope with that, just like you have to enjoy the victories. Germany, 3rd place is good. And the Americans, another fine performance from them. Well done to Leif Nordgren. That's a really difficult leg to take, having seen the rest of the team perform so well. And they finished 1:44 behind. Their total hits on the range, no loops, 11 misses. Sweden missing Bjorn Ferry, who decided not to make the journey. He's not been 100% over the Christmas break, needing a little extra training time at home, and he'll join us down in Ruhpolding. Oh, pipped on the line, Carl-Johan Bergman, I think, may get a ticking off for that, Mike. I'm not sure he was aware that the Slovenians were coming up fast behind him.
It really is so difficult to hear if there's anyone around you. Normally you hear the skiing, you hear them panting, you hear the skis, but with the spectators, I'm not sure he was aware.
The body language would suggest he was giving it maximum, but a well-timed sprint finish from the Slovenians there. And making up for a disappointing performance in the first round in Hofvilsen. That was Jakov FAK, incidentally, who's very, very quick. And he's been impressive this year, hasn't he? I've enjoyed watching FAK in action.
Oh, he has. He had a little dip in his performance, but that's the home range or the home spectators' pressure when it first went to Pokljuka in Slovenia.
5th last time out for the Czech Republic. They dropped to 8th this time, a margin of 3:05. In Hofvilsen, they finished just 1:46 off the lead. A quick assessment of the shooting, Mike, as we watch Slovakia finishing.
I'm just looking, I think there's only 5 teams that haven't been on the penalty loop, and of course Russia with 12 spare rounds, one of the best shots. USA, only 11 spare rounds, no penalty loops. And the Czech Republic, 9 spare rounds with the best shooting and no penalty loops.
So despite the difficult conditions, the Russians have come through 12 missed targets, but a brilliant final leg from Dmitry MALYSHKO to claim the win. 20 teams missed enough targets to do penalty rounds last year. This year, 19 teams have been on the penalty loop, and the conditions are 500% better than they were 12 months ago. Well, a fantastic way to open the meet. We had a good relay last night with the ups and downs of Germany and the consistent performing of the Ukrainian team to take the victory. Tonight, well, it looked as though Norway had it in the bag, Mike, but Russia came out of nowhere.
Amazing, and I think that Svensson will be so disappointed with the way that, for the first time, he doesn't normally have a difficulty, a meltdown on the range, but in his mind, something wasn't quite right. Maybe it was that long Christmas break.
Russia, Norway, Germany, the top 3 positions this evening.